Hi friends, I am so excited to chat with you guys tonight about ditching and switching in our cleaning. So if you are on live, say hello. If you're watching the replay, you can always let me know. I really wanted to focus on this topic because it's something that I think is just so impactful for our health, for our home, for our future, and it's something that's really easy, right? If you are someone who is just getting into the, ditching and switching world, if you're someone who's, being more curious about the ingredients and the products you're using and, what's coming in your home and on your body, and you're like, whoa, I don't know where to begin. This is such an easy place to begin because it's things that we're already used to using. So we already know how to use a cleaner. We already know how to use, hand soap and dish soap. So there are things that I'm going to chat about and easy ways to swap and just a better option for us. So there's no perfect option. We have chemicals all around us in our home, our environment, our work, like wherever we go. But if we can do a little bit better, just a little bit, if we can make a little bit better of a choice, just a little bit safer of an option, that impacts over time. So let's get started. I've got some notes so I don't forget things, and please comment, share. I love to have engagement. So as the weather turns warmer, sun is shining, we are thinking about spring cleaning, most of us, or avoiding it. Most of the products that are out there, unfortunately, contain harmful chemicals and toxins, and this isn't to scare people. This isn't to, be like, shame you or anything like that. It's just to bring awareness to that because I had no idea. A few years ago, I literally did not know what was in the products that I was using and what they were doing to my body. And I honestly didn't really care until I started kind of diving into it and being a little bit more aware of how that could affect my body. It just wasn't a thing. So if that's where you are, I understand and I totally respect you. So I'm here to help you find some products to ditch in your home and find safe, affordable, easy options, okay? So first thing I want to mention is some kind of red flags versus green flags. If you've been cleaning already with conventional products, you might want to take a look at them. So if you've ever read the label before and you're like, what even is that? You can start by using things like EWG, Environmental Working Group, or Think Dirty app to look at ingredients and look at what is in those products. Most labels, if you turn it over and you look at what is on there, they've got warnings about toxicity, possibly instructions to call a poison center if ingested or exposed to your skin, which isn't really the most comforting considering we're probably using our hands in some sort of cleaning process. We're inhaling it while we're cleaning and whatever we're using, and our kids or our pets might be around that, right? So that's something that is, a red flag that we want to be aware of. The toxic chemicals found in our household cleaners might vary from like skin or eye irritation or up to respiratory irritation, or they can even have some impacts like cancer, fertility issues, or just a compromised immune system and compounding effect. So if you've never heard of what bioaccumulation is, that's basically the idea that, well, it's not an idea, it's proven, but that a little bit, some people are like, oh, it's just a little bit, it doesn't matter. Oh, I only clean, once a month. But over time, that buildup in our body, like our bodies will get to a point where they say, I'm tired, like I can't do this anymore. I give up. And that's when we might start to get ill or different issues come up and body that doesn't need to be there, right? There are other options. So you can categorize most of these chemicals that you can find in store-bought cleaners into three main groups. So carcinogens, these are toxins that have the ability to cause cancer. Endocrine disruptors, which can interfere with our hormones, and our hormones have a lot more to do with everything functioning in the body. It's not just reproduction. And neurotoxins. So these chemicals could harm or destroy the function of your nervous system, which can cause things like headaches and could also impact memory loss. So there's a wide range. Yes, it may not be, that harmful, but over time, is it burdening our body? Or it might be quite harmful. And just because you use it once, doesn't mean it's not affecting you. And again, this is not to shame anyone or say that you have to do things this way. It's about what's best for you. But if I had this education when I, moved out on my own and started using my own products, I would have chosen differently because first I would have known different options, and then I would have known that it was affordable, which was so important to me. So when you're cleaning our home, we want to avoid using products that have these type of ingredients. So I'm going to talk to you about an oil first and how that relates to some different cleaning products. So first things first, you do not have to like go in your, I mean, if you want to, you can, but most people can't afford it, and it's just not feasible or realistic to like go under your cleaning cupboard and be like, I'm going to swap everything out. I looked at the ingredients, I looked online, none of this crap is good for me. If that's you, great, you can do that. But most of us, that's just not, you know, we're not in a place to do that. So it is okay. Give yourself grace to say, you know, when I'm finished this cleaner, I'm going to swap out. When I'm finished this hand soap, I'm going to swap out for a better or safer option. That's okay. Take your time. So I want to chat quickly about Thieves and then dig into some ditch and switch options that we can have. So Thieves is basically where the whole kind of safe cleaning line that Young Living has came from. So it is an oil, and it was based around a legend in 15th century France, where French thieves created this, you know, kind of mix and potion of cloves, rosemary, vinegar, and other botanicals, and it helped protect them. So as the legend goes, basically there was like grave robbing and illness and things like that going on then. And in exchange for their safety, they had to give up this, you know, blend or power. So that's where Young Living got this idea and created this, you know, potent support for our bodies and our homes. In Canada, it is actually an approved natural health product for cough and cold support, which just shows that it has power to support our immune systems in that way. And it is a really nice one just to stay above the wellness line. So you can diffuse this oil, you can rub it on the bums of your feet. It has such amazing stories. There's lots of people who've done cool experiments with it. With our cleaner, they've done like a chicken experiment and shown that it gets rid of bacteria. There is a cool experiment with this oil and toast and mold growing, but not growing where the Thieves oil is. So lots of cool stuff. But back to cleaning. So I think the last couple years have really kind of opened people's eyes with wanting to stay healthy, wanting to stay well, wanting to, you know, be ahead of the game and be above the wellness line, not just treating something, you know, and being ill and having to kind of backtrack. So one big thing that has been, you know, a big cleaner in our last 2 years has been hand sanitizer. So hand sanitizers, face masks, wipes have really become essentials the last couple of years, and it's important when we're using these things to be able to stay clean, to stay healthy, to know that there's, you know, some ingredients to avoid, and that not all products are created equal. So there's been some warnings against some hand sanitizers that contain methanol. There's been some recall issues, and there's also some ingredients that has been linked to respiratory and skin problems. Some may also contain perfume, fragrance, or preservatives, which can also be harmful. And some research has shown that sanitizers have actually contributed to our weaker immune systems. So, not saying you shouldn't use it. I use mine all day, every day. But having a safer option is where we want to be. You know, an option that gives, you know, not as harm to our body, right? Everything we use has some sort of, you know, risk and reward, but if we can use something that's just a little bit better for us, right? It's not perfect, nothing is, but something that's a bit better for us, then that can make a big impact on our health. So ditch number 1 is conventional hand sanitizers for our Thieves hand sanitizer. This is such a good product. So it is plant-based. It's effective. It has the Thieves blend. It also has peppermint. It has aloe vera, which is so soothing. So, you know, that like really red itchiness and kind of breakdown of skin that you might get from traditional hand sanitizers, which actually makes you more prone to, you know, getting bacteria in there because your skin is open. This guy does not do. So that is the first ditch. Another ditch would be conventional cleaning wipes. We have some Thieves wipes available in our US market that we can get in Canada, as well as you could make your own. So just grabbing some, I've done this years ago, paper towel, using Thieves oil, Thieves cleaner. If you want the recipe, you can message me. But just ditching that option because yes, it's going to get rid of some stuff in our home that we might not want, but it's also going to give us some extra things we don't want, right? Some harmful ingredients. So that is a couple ditches for you. The next kind of area that I want to chat about is laundry cleaning. So I don't know about you, but I really like things obviously to smell good and to smell fresh. But I was also the person that used to use tons of dryer sheets. And actually my partner Reggie was the one that said, years before I even got into, you know, being more aware of products, he's like, those are really bad for you, and they're also really bad for the environment. And they are. Dryer sheets are one of the worst things for our body and for the environment. They're horrible. They don't disintegrate. They're bad for our planet. Like, they're just no good. And laundry is a big source of chemicals in our home because we're wearing our clothes all the time, right? I've got a bra and I've got a shirt on, I've got pants on. I'm going to sleep in my bed. I'm going to dry my body after a shower with the towels that I'm using. We're going to dry our dishes with our, you know, hand towels. So it's a big source of possible chemicals in your home. So the more that I learned about ingredients, the more I was a little bit scared of this. Many commonly used detergents have over 25 harmful chemicals, which can include fragrance, a non-phenyl ethoxylate, see, try even saying that, it's hard to say, sodium lauryl sulfate or SLS, phosphates, quats, benzene, and more. They can cause things like skin irritation, but they can also disrupt our endocrine and respiratory system. So if you're like, oh, well, you know, whatever, I don't get a rash from it, it can actually affect your hormones. Like, guys, the things that are telling us to breathe and our metabolism and our thyroid function and our energy, and it's related to our mood and our reproduction. Like, hormones affect every part of our body. So if that's not something that you're concerned about yet, hormones are important. Okay, so next ditch is conventional laundry detergent that has ingredients like dioxane, DEA, TEA, the SLS, and other carcinogens because they're harmful to our health, but they're also really harmful to the environment. So the switch would be a Thieves laundry soap, which is so concentrated, I kid you not. My sister just messaged me and asked if I actually ever like track it, which I don't. I'm pretty lazy with that. But she has had a bottle since January, and she said she still has about a quarter, and they've got a lot of laundry with a baby. So she was really impressed. And the beautiful part about it is Young Living doesn't make you pay for water or, you know, extra fluff. Everything is so concentrated. So I'm lazy, like I said. I choose not to dilute my laundry soap, so I just pop in a quarter load, and that's it. And it works really well. So I've done it on my nursing clothes, Reggie's mechanics clothes. For 6 years we've been using this, and it works really well. And it doesn't have that, you know, residue on the clothing. It doesn't leave a fragrance. Why my sister switched was because my nephew was getting a rash from a laundry soap that actually said natural. I think it said fragrance free, natural baby. And I looked up the ingredients and I'm like, that's no good. I looked it up on environmental working group, and I was like, this might be your problem. You know, try swapping out. So all I use, quarter of a capful. You can 100% dilute it, which I know lots of people do to stretch it even further, and it still works really well. If you want that dilution, you can send me a message. Another switch is, like I said, the dryer sheets that are just not for our bodies or our homes, to switch for wool dryer balls. So I'm pretty lazy, like I said. I usually don't remember or care to put on a fragrance on mine, so I just toss a few in, and I actually feel like they speed up the cleaning or the drying process. Like, I don't know if it's just me. Let me know if you've had that experience, but I feel like it speeds up drying. So, which also saves you money, and, you know, it's better for power and all those kinds of things. But a few of these, throw them in the dryer. You can choose if you want to pop an oil on them. So just dropping scent of oil, whatever you want. Things like purification are really nice. Lemongrass is nice. You can choose whatever you want. Or you can just throw them in. So that's another really good swap. And what was the other one? Oh, and stain stick. So again, I won't share the recipe right now, but if you want the recipe, you can message me. This is one that would swap out those like really strong, usually fragrance-filled chemical sprays for like a stain remover. I've also heard really great things from friends that have babies about using the charcoal bar soap as like a pre-wash. So they'll rub it in, foam it up, rub it in on the stain, so it gets rid of the stain, and then they'll throw it in the laundry as usual, but kind of like a pre-treatment. So again, a super simple swap. Like I've had this for years, I feel like. You do not have to give up the smell of good smelling laundry, but it's going to be safer for you, okay? And without the crap. So next up is our kitchen. So most of us spend a lot of our time in the kitchen. The dishes we cook with, we eat from, the cleanliness of those is so essential. But did you know that some of the most common dishwashing soaps leave toxic residues behind? A study conducted by the Environmental Working Group tested 326 dish soaps to determine their safety. 65% had what they considered failing grades for containing harmful chemicals. The same is true for a lot of the cleaners that we use on our surfaces to prepare our foods. So we want to make sure that we're avoiding ingredients with ETH at the end, like laureth, like sodium laureth sulfate, or ETOXY, things like pig. There's a lot of ingredients. If you look up the Dirty Dozen, those are things that you should be kind of avoiding. The easy part is once you find a company or companies that you trust their ingredients, you're going to stop reading all the labels and you're going to feel comfortable with purchasing from them. So at the beginning, I started using Young Living products for hair problems, skin issues, and I legitimately searched up every single ingredient on a bottle of face wash from Young Living in Environmental Working Group one at a time to see what this ingredient was and what it did. It took a long time. Now I don't do that because I trust the company, I trust the ingredients, and I trust the product. So that is almost priceless to be able to have that ease and peace of mind when you're actually purchasing products. So, pro tip. So, next ditch would be your conventional dish soaps. Anything that contains DEA, MEA, TEA, which are called ethanolamines. They're carcinogens that can cause skin, eye, nose, throat, and lung irritation, as well as drowsiness, headaches, or even vertigo. So a switch would be Thieves dish soap. I actually love this dish soap. It is also my shampoo, which seems so crazy, but again, these are safe, natural products, so you can use them in whatever way, shape, or form that you want around your home or in your on your body. So this guy is really awesome. The thing that you will have to get used to when using it is that it doesn't foam up the same, which can freak people out, but foaming doesn't mean clean. It's just something that we're, kind of used to, and society is like, told us it has to suds up and foam for it to work. So it definitely doesn't. It's naturally derived, it's tough on grease, it's gentle on hands, and it has a really gentle scent. The next one that I would say to ditch, which is probably, it's a toss-up between laundry soap and cleaner that I think are the most impactful for us because we're using them and they're constantly on our body, would be to ditch your conventional household cleaners. So things that contain chlorine, phosphates, formaldehyde, benzene, all those kind of ingredients. Would be to switch to our Thieves cleaner, which is the most amazing thing ever, or this new product, which I love, and you can also make a DIY version of, is the Thieves Kitchen and Bath Scrub. So it's going to be able to get rid of the tough goop and gum and all those kinds of things, but we're not going to have the chemicals with it. So one way or another, we can avoid toxins in our home by taking time to, assess what's in our home, clean things when they come in, be aware of what we're putting in our home, because you can't control everything, but you can control what comes into our home, right? We get to be the gatekeeper. Okay. Another actually I didn't bring it. Oh, did I? No, I didn't. Another kitchen one is Thieves Fruit and Veggie Cleaner. So cleaning your fruits and vegetables is important to get rid of any kind of like dirt and grime and pesticides. Even if you have organic produce, it's still going to be prevalent in some way, shape, or form. So that one is such a good product. And then our dishes. So again, cleaning our dishes. This is the Thieves dishwasher detergent, or making your own, which sounds crazy, but it's not that hard. So again, a simple swap, but really impactful. Okay. Another cleaning area is our hygiene. So just as important, if not more, than the ingredients that we use in our products to clean our home, but the ones that we're using to clean our body. So whether it's washing our hands, brushing our teeth, what we're using is important. Things like sulfates, parabens, DM, hydantoin, and fragrance are all commonly found in our hand soaps, and they can be harmful to us. Things like fluoride, sodium lauryl sulfate, artificial colors, sweeteners, and parabens are commonly found in your toothpaste and your mouthwash. And that is another area that, again, we're using it all the time. We're washing our hands every day. We're brushing our teeth every day, or I hope we are. So these are impactful swaps that we can make, but they're not hard because we already know how to brush our teeth and wash our hands, right? So ditching conventional hand soap. Avoid ingredients like fragrance, parabens, SLS, and switch to a foaming hand soap. This is such an easy swap, and I like to stretch it a little bit. This is one that I will stretch out because it's super easy to do, is take out a half or 2/3, put it in like a mason jar or a container that's sealed, and then fill the rest up with water. Because it is foaming, it lasts a really long time, and it works so well. You're washing your hands all the time, right? How many times a day do you wash your hands? If you can use something that's going to be better for you and better for the environment and not have those possibly harmful ingredients, that's going to pay off long term. Okay, next ditch is our toothpaste. Something that obviously is super important is going into our mouth and into our body. Why aren't we a little bit more concerned about that? That's an easy swap. So I've been using the Thieves toothpaste for, again, almost 6 years now. And it is an easy swap. At first, it doesn't foam up like traditional toothpaste. So that might be something where you're like, ooh, this is kind of different. Now, if I forget my toothpaste and I'm someplace where I have to use different stuff, I'm like, ooh, this is like really foamy and really irritating to my mouth. So my favorite is the Thieves whitening toothpaste, but there's a few different versions. We also have a kids version. And this one has no fluoride, no synthetic ingredients, and it helps clean your teeth and keep them fresh. And the next one for cleaning your dental area is mouthwash. So ditch the conventional mouthwash that has alcohol in it, fragrance, lots of garbage, things like chlorhexidine, methyl salicylate, ethyl alcohol, and swap to Thieves mouthwash. So it doesn't have alcohol, but it's actually quite strong. So I will also take out about half of this and dilute it with water because it is pretty like cinnamony and pretty strong. It doesn't have any artificial dyes, sweeteners, and it works super well. Tooth floss is another one that's really good, and we have a Thieves floss. So take some time to do an inventory of the products that you have and things that you use every day. You might be surprised at how many products actually contain ingredients that could be harming us that you could find an easy swap for. These chemicals can lead to things like developmental, reproductive toxicity, bioaccumulation, changes on our cellular level. They can cause a whole host of things. So we don't have to feel, lost or overwhelmed. It's just about making one better choice per day or per month. So if you can go and say, this month I'm going to swap this out. Great. Today I'm going to choose this. Is it better for me? Is it better for the environment? That's what we want to focus on. And then last but not least, our all-purpose cleaner. So are you tired of having 15 different bottles of cleaner under your sink? There's something for, tubs and counters and mirrors and windows and walls. Unfortunately, many of the all-purpose cleaners contain things like glycols, which is a petrochemical that can actually enter your bloodstream through your skin or respiratory system. Again, we're touching it while we're cleaning. We're breathing it in. They can cause things like fatigue, nausea, headaches, skin irritation, and more. So, how can we swap this out? Ditching your conventional cleaner and swapping for Thieves cleaner. By far one of my absolute absolute favorite products. It is plant-based. It is so concentrated. It is so versatile. And when I mean versatile, I mean I literally just use this to water all of my plants in my home because it helps them grow, because it is plant-based and filled with essential oils, which is so cool and so powerful. So this is one that you simply make up a little spray bottle. So I'll fill this guy with water, put a cap full of the cleaner, away you go. It's good for your counters, your walls, your windows. Like, it is truly an all-purpose cleaner, and it's so cost effective, and you don't have to worry about inhaling fumes or spending a lot of money. This guy makes, I think, I can't remember the exact amount, but it works out to be like $1.80 or something for a bottle. So you can't beat the price, and just that peace of mind that comes from not having to worry about what things are in your home. So you can also make a ton of DIYs with it if you are a DIY person, but it is definitely one to have in your home and never go without. This is like top product. And a lot of the things that we chatted, you can make yourself. So like, I'm not big on DIY, but if you want to make your own laundry soap, you can use things like washing soda, Thieves cleaner, Thieves oil. If you wanted to make your own, I've got a laundry scent booster. You can make your own. This one has Epsom salt, baking soda, and essential oils. Those kinds of things. Like, if that's your jam, great, make it. If it's not your jam, buy a pre-made version, like Thieves Kitchen Bath Scrub, and make it easy for yourself. The little things that we can do every day, every week, every month that actually make an impact on our health long term, they're just so powerful. So if I knew these things years ago, I would have started swapping out long before. But the moral here is to educate yourself, ask questions, be an informed consumer and be aware of what you're purchasing, what's coming in your home, read labels, ask questions. If you ever want to sample a Thieves cleaner or any products, I'm definitely happy to send you something. And know that it doesn't have to curl at once. Like, take your time. Make it make sense, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, that you slowly make these changes so that they create really, good habits for your health and for your home. So if you ever have questions, let me know. I am always open to answering. If you ever want to purchase, you just send me a message and we will help set you up with your own free account, or my link is always in my bio. This is something that is a passion of mine because it makes such an impact on our entire home. So having a chemical-free home and having safe ways to clean our home and our body is so powerful. I hope you found value in this, and have a good night.